ladies and gentlemen, reporting live from a secret location. It's Ronnie. And I'm here today to report on some men's names. Did you know that common men's names are actually nouns or verbs, sometimes an adjective? So maybe you want to choose an English name, or you want to choose a name that's not an English name, but you want to rename yourself. Be careful. There are some doozies, which means there are some dangerous names you have to be careful about. So, this thing that I'm holding, it is a microphone. Yes, it is. It is a microphone. Yeah, it is. Believe me. And in the short form, we call it a mic. Oh, hold on. Hold on. That is also the short form of a man's name, Michael. So Michael is a super common name in Canada and North America for English-speaking people, and Ireland, all over the English-speaking world. There you will meet lots of Michaels, but I would say about 42% of them go by Mike. So this microphone is spelled M-I-C, but the person's name, Michael, is shortened to M-I-K-E, which is Mike, because we don't say the E. So this microphone, his name is Mike. Nice to meet you, Mike. Another guy, one of my good friends, he hangs out in my bathroom. This is, hold on, let me put Mike down. Mike, hold on, Mike. I'll pick you up in a second. This is a bath mat. It's actually a pelican bath mat, but there's a man's name called Matt. Again, it's a short form for Matthew, but most people shorten their names and call them Matt. So Matt can also be like a bath mat. Oh, Matt's funny, isn't he? Phil. Yeah. I knew a guy named Phil McCracken. He was an Irish guy. His real name is Philip, but we just call him Phil because it's a short form. So P-H-I-L, remember the PH makes an F sound. So we have a verb fill. So you can fill something. It means you put something else in it to make it whole. Oh, Ronnie. So, for example, you can fill a hole with dirt. You can fill a coffee cup with coffee. So if you fill something as a verb, it means you're putting something inside of it to make it whole again. Oh, Robert, Bobby, Rob, Robbie. In the short form, we have Rob. Oh, hold on, that's a verb. So if I steal something, I can also rob something. It's a verb. Don't steal Mike, though. He's really important to this. Do you like going to art galleries? Did you know that Art was also a man's name? It's a short form for Arthur. Is your name Arthur? Hi, Arthur. How you doing? Hey, Art. So, it could be funny. Make a joke about that later, maybe. Russell. Russell Crowe. Oh, hold on. That's super funny because a crow is a bird. And the famous actor Russell Crowe. Oh, the spelling is different, but Russell as a verb means to make noise. So I can rustle a mat. It doesn't work. I can rustle paper. If I rustle paper, it makes a sound like this. So that's the rustling of paper. We usually use it for leaves. As you walk, there's the rustle of leaves in the autumn day. Mike, you like that, don't you? Clifford. Clifford is the formal name, and most guys go by Cliff. Cliff is a noun, and it's something, take a short walk off a long cliff or something like that. Cliff is basically the edge where the ocean meets the land, and it's a huge hill. So if you walk off a cliff, you're probably going to die. You will see movies where people throw themselves off a cliff, but not the man, the high mountain by the edge of the water. Jim. Oh, such a powerful name. James is the long form of the name. You get Jim, you get Jimmy. But did you go to gym class? Not Jim's class. Or did you hang out in the gymnasium? Oh, guess what? We shortened that instead of saying gymnasium so long. We just used the word gym. The spelling is different. Watch out. Okay. This is J-I-M and this is J-Y-M. G-Y-M. J-I-M. So again, we know how tricky spelling is in English. Just be careful. So Jim is a noun. Doug. Do you have a problem remembering the past, simple past of verbs? Guess what? The simple past of the word dig is Doug. Doug's also a man's name. Hi, Doug. You know how I always tell you that English spelling is a little crazy? The past tense is spelled D-U-G, but the name is D-O-U-G. So we don't actually say the O. We don't say Doug. Hi, my name's Doug. My name's Doug. I'm just the past tense of dig. D-I-G, past tense D-U-G. I'm Doug. Dig, Doug. Stu. Okay. The formal name or the long name is Stuart. It's a very Scottish name. Stewie, Stuart. And stew, S-T-E-W, is actually a very delicious thick soup. In the wintertime, in the summertime too, we would have stew. It's basically a meal with vegetables, some kind of sauce, and meat in a big container. The difference between stew and soup, I know you're asking, is soup has a lot more water. So stew is like a very, very thick soup. It's delicious. Next up. Uh-oh, be careful. This is where it gets funny. There's a really famous singer called Harry Styles. Harry, I guess it's a short form for Harold, if you will, or some people are just named Harry. If we look at the spelling as an adjective, these are homophones. So this means the two words have the exact same pronunciation. The man's name is H-A-R-R-Y, but the adjective, for someone that has a lot of hair, usually on their back or their armpits, not too attractive, unless you're into that, is H-A-I-R-Y. So it's describing something that has a lot of hair. My mom is hairy. She's not, actually. Sorry, Mom. Dick. What? Ronnie. Dick. Yes, Dick. Yep, it's a man's name. I told you, short for Richard. But also, it can be the part of a man. Women don't have this part. Men do. It's called a dick. Penis. Yes. But the spelling is D-I-C-K. It's the same. So, please, if your last name is Dick, I would caution naming your son Harry. Because at school he could get teased. He could be called Harry Dick. Or even if your first name is Richard and your last name is Harry, you could have attendance called and still be Harry Dick. So please be careful with that one. Or name your kid that and good luck with that kid's ego. No, don't do that. No. John. John, I don't know how we got this word, but it's a very common name. John, Jonathan, Johnny. It, for somehow, to us is a toilet. I guess I should have looked that up and figured out why. But I have to go to the John. And you're like, the John? Who? But John's house? No, just the John. That means I have to go to the washroom. Okay. Also, we have portable toilets. And those are called Johnny on the spot. No, that's funny yet? Okay. Bill. Oh, everyone hates Bills. But Bill, not a bad guy. William is William is his long name, and he just gets Bill for short. But we hate bills because as the noun, they're the things that we get and we have to pay. So I have a bill for my phone, a bill for my internet usage. If you go to the restaurant and you eat, I hope you go to the restaurant and eat, that's the purpose. You're going to get a bill at the end of the meal, and that's what you have to pay for your delicious, overpriced food. You actually ask for it. Like, can I have the bill? And Bill's like, me? The whole time? No, the bill, not Bill. Mark. This is weird. Mark's a verb. It's a very common first name for a man, Mark, usually not a woman. And interesting, doing the research, there weren't a lot of ladies' names that were fun like this, because ladies are usually named after flowers. Lily, Rose, Violet. These are kind of older names, or herbs, rosemary. So we're just beautiful little flowers, but men are like verbs and crazy things. Mark, because I'm a teacher, did you know I'm a teacher? What I have to do sometimes is I have to mark papers. So students will give me assignments and I have to mark them. That means I go, oh, yeah, good job, or oh, that's terrible. So if I mark something as a verb, it means that I correct it. I tell you if it's right or wrong. So things that can be right or wrong, I'm going to get into some jokes just because it's so funny. So please don't laugh at these jokes, okay? They're not meant to be funny. Jokes are never funny. And Mike, you're getting too heavy for me, buddy. I got to put you down here. Oh, Mike. Wow. So all of these words, as I've told you, are also nouns or verbs or adjectives. So first joke, this guy, Matt. What do you call a man who's always lying down at your front door? Matt. His name's Matt. Yeah, I know. Stop laughing so much, okay? Mike. Yeah, this is just this. I don't have a joke about Mike. Sorry, Mike. Oh, that's okay. Good. I know. Okay. Now, this one. What do you call a guy hanging out, making noise in a pile of leaves? He's moving around a lot. His name is Russell. Because the leaves rustle. Now, if I have to explain these to you, it's not going to be fun anymore. We do have some female names. It's a French name, I would assume. What do you call a lady who likes to burn her bills? French name. Starts with a B. Bernadette. Because a debt means you have to pay money. So Bernadette, you burning your debt. Funny. It is really funny. It's really funny. What do you call a guy? Okay. And he always has seagulls on the side of his head. They're flying around. Probably poo on him. His name's Cliff. A man who has, instead of a regular head, he has a shovel. A shovel is used for digging. Remember I told you this? It's used for digging, but instead of a head, he has a shovel. His name is Doug. And then magically he lost his shovel, so he no longer has a shovel for his head. Do you know what he becomes? He becomes Douglas. Because it's a play on the word less. So a man with the shovel as a head is Doug, past. And then without the shovel is Douglas. Mike, help me out here, man. These are pretty terrible. What do you call a guy who's always stealing stuff? You know, you just go someplace and he's taking your mic and he's taking your mat. His name's Rob. Yeah, I don't really have any Rob friends because I think they're just thieves. Yeah. What do you call a guy sitting in a big pot of hot water? Stew. Yeah, his name's Stew because he's stewing in the pot and someone's gonna eat him. Yeah. And last one. Two. Oh, I've got two more. Okay. What do you call the guy that's hanging on your wall? All right, he's just hanging out in the wall. And people look at him and go, wow, ooh, oh, I don't know. What do you think? His name's Art. And my dad. What do you call a guy who fixes potholes? Now, potholes have nothing to do with pots or pot, but a pothole is a big hole in the road when you're driving. So you drive, boom, oh, I hit a pothole. That guy, the guy that puts more dirt in the potholes, his name's Phil. And he's a pretty good guy, yeah. But that's all. So I hope you really enjoyed the jokes because they're so funny, and I just die hearing them. They're so funny, and yeah, enjoy.